'Cause I can hear myself. Huh. I don't like hearing myself. It's weird. Anyways, good evening, everybody. Sorry for the confusion and the delay. As I said, it weirds me out when I can hear myself, and I can hear myself. So we're just going to figure it out as we go. We do have Callie with us tonight. I will unmute her so she can speak.
I will unmute myself so I can speak.
Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Glad you're feeling decent enough to do so.
Thank you.
So tonight, leadership lessons. We're back. Again, don't forget, I am a professional leadership coach. Free materials at the website there. Let's move on. We just finished the main story quest for A Realm Reborn last time, and we beat Gaius's butt, kicked that ass in and out of what's-his-nuts' body, and overall just won at things. So, yeah, we are back at the Waking Sands. We have stuff yet to do with Minfilia, apparently. The price of principles. Minfilia appears to be lost in thought. Curious. It pleases me to see you well. Do excuse me for interrupting, Curious. My lady, the gentleman from Ashgana Exports has just left. Shrug. I understand now why you didn't want to receive him. You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards that we will not be receiving any further guests this evening. Thank you, my lady. Hi, Tataru. You're adorable. Ever since we defeated Gaius von Baelsar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world have followed our every move, scarce remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret, with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer us his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavor to engage us more subtly. Dress it how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us. The gentleman Tataru spoke of was more brazen than most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute. Naturally, I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the Syndicate's overtures are not so easily rejected. When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interests of individual Eorzeans. Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. I know in my heart, I know this to be true, and yet, if accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, might they not warrant greater consideration? Our Baldassian colleagues seem to have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to... Forgive me. I did not mean to burden you so. It's fine. Yet, my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. might I impose upon you to consult the others? They are like to have their own opinions on this matter. Speak with everybody! Woo! And hold on, I really want to figure this out. Aha! Ha ha ha! Monitor off. Get out of my head. There we go. All right.
Got it figured out?
Let's go talk to folks. Yes. I no longer am speaking to myself inside my head.
All right.
And it is wonderful.
I feel like I am very quiet, and I'm not sure if that's a me thing or a you thing.
It's probably a me thing. Let me adjust your levels here a touch. That's probably better.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a bit better. I wonder if I need to turn my gain up a bit. No, I think that's fine.
You're probably good now. All right, Yishtola. Recall you our meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Luminsons sent word of the summoning of Titan? Then mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merwib that her people had broken their treaty with the kobolds, and that the beastmen had justly responded, and that we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. I spoke, in short, the truth. And wherefore did I speak it? Because owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Luminsons to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon this subject, Minfilia can expect a similar reply. Our many dalliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would see us relinquish it entirely. That's a good lesson, is be wary of what you're asking people to do, especially if you are aware that it's something that you yourself caused. People may help you clean up your messes, but it's not going to reflect well on you, even if they do so willingly. So, as a leader, it pays dividends to, one, not get yourself into those situations, and two, be aware of those situations and have some extra humility when you're asking others to help you with them. Because it's your fault. Thancred, welcome back. Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, and especially you, have power is beyond doubt. But yeah, I kicked your ass in the last fight. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know that there is a growing belief amongst the refugees that Alamigo could be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Well, yeah, probably. Yet theirs is but one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Curious. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear. More good leadership words. He hit the nail on the head with, where they lead is far from clear, right? As a leader, when you're figuring out your plans, when you're figuring out just how you're going to approach things, it pays to be wary of the consequences of doing something or not, and weighing those against the consequences of other things that you may be looking to do, so that you can choose the path forward that is best going to serve your team or organization or whatever cause it is that you are tied to. Okay. Yida, what do you have for us? I've been receiving a lot of gifts lately, but Papa Limo keeps making me send them back. Bribery, yay! It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, very nearly abandon your principles nice, you know? Yep. Again, hit the nail on the head. And this is why a lot of companies have policies about accepting gifts. And a lot of those policies is just don't. Because there's all sorts of legal entanglement that you can get into if you do even accept a small gift. There's all sorts of underlying legal hooks that people can put in behind those gifts that may not necessarily be thought about by you when the gift is given, but may be intended by the party giving the gift. And that's a whole complicated topic, so we can talk about that later. But yeah, be careful with gifts, especially if you are in a leadership position, because it's easy for others to misinterpret the purpose. None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but if it comes at the cost of our principles? Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people that our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for Gil, we might as well declare fealty to Ul'dah now and have done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes. Well, we've already covered that she would. And it's not a matter of enjoying it or not. It's a matter of, what are people expecting because they've given you a gift and you've accepted it. It is the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power proffer aid with one hand, whilst the other resteth ever on their hilt. Yeah. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioner's machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, defiant in defeat, to raise up their fallen primals once more. Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. The sacred charge shall ever be ours. 'Tis but a pity we are so few, and our fortunes so finite. Yeah, I'm familiar with those decisions too. As a leader, it's tough, because people see you as an authority or an expert, or just somebody with the wherewithal to make something happen that they want. And so they're going to use what leverage they have available, whether it's gifts, whether it's influence, whether it's blackmail in some instances. It's tough to hold to your values individually, much less as a group. Especially if your heart goes out to those people that are asking for that help that you may not necessarily think is the best idea to give. All right, Alphino, what do you have for us? Alphinod. The situation is not wholly unexpected. I too have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhap it is time I made my feelings known to the antecedent. Come along, Curious. Aye, aye, Captain. Alphinod, Curious, is aught amiss? You desired counsel, and so you shall have it. Minfilia, the scions of the Seventh Dawn must leave Ul'dah. We must do what? Now, come now, we could use a place with some above-ground windows, maybe a balcony. I've got ideas. So long as we remain within Ul'dah territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities, and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We are far too dangerous for that. Surely you realize they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an aetherite? Yeah, that's been a pain in my butt to get here and from. They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause, which is why it and other favors will be denied us unless we cooperate. If Ul'dah is no longer suitable, where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length and plant our banner in a place which all agree be beyond their borders. Mordona. I like Mordona. It's a pretty cool little hole in the wall. Revenant's Toll, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we have developed a certain bond with Ul'dah and her people over the years. But I truly believe this to be the best course of action. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community, forged through years of concerted effort. Ul'dah is our home, Alphenod. To cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. The decision is yours to make, antecedent. I ask only that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12 ere that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did, that makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We are as much your family as... That will be all, Alphenod. Well... I am sure you have some familial efforts of your own to attend to. Your concern is most generous, but no, I have left them in the hands of men better suited to the task than I. I could not very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order, after all. Ouch. Oh, what do I want? Strength, vitality, direct hit rate. We'll go with skill speed. So let me talk about that for a second. Is with that whole with great power comes great responsibility thing. There was something I was reading this morning, actually, or sometime earlier this week, I forget which, that was talking about leaders not keeping their passion in check. To give an example of, say, everybody's been told to cut budgets, and the boss is not seen as necessarily doing the same. And so during a meeting, somebody calls out the boss and says, well, we've been giving you a lukewarm response because we don't feel like you're really doing your part to cut the budget either. And so in that rhetorical scenario, the boss then gets pissed off and calls out the person who's calling them out, and, chaos ensues. And it's important, especially if you're in a leadership position, one who can make heads roll, so to speak, to make sure that you have your head on straight if you're in any situation where you're in a group of your peers, and to make sure that if somebody does call you out, you take a moment to pause, ask yourself a few questions like, what do I really want out of this? What do I want for the team to get out of this? And then put those together and say, with those two in mind, how can I help guide this to a solution that is going to benefit everybody? And when you take your brain out of flight or fight mode by taking a pause and thinking through those questions for a few seconds, you can immensely increase your ability to deal with the situation in a constructive way that doesn't, knock people down a notch, that doesn't tarnish your reputation, and ultimately, gets everybody, including you, the things that are needed and wanted. So, food for thought. All right, Minfilia. Moving on. Once again, Minfilia appears to be lost in thought. Leave Ulda. Has it truly come to this? It would be wise. Oh, curious. Pray attend to Alphanod. He is engaged in some business or other and requires your assistance. Pray be on your way. Alphanod awaits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. That's another good thing is things are going to require thought from time to time. We get that. As a leader, as anybody, there are times where it's just, I could give you an answer off the top of my head, but I don't think that would be wise. Give me a day to figure it out, and I will get back to you. But I feel like it's important to give people a time frame. Say, give me a day instead of give me a while. What's a while? My while may be shorter than your while. And that's what causes undue friction, is give people a reasonable estimate of when you think you'll be able to get back to them. And that way, there's an expectation, and in theory, unless the person is really impatient and has no consideration for for you at all, they should leave you alone until then, thereby giving you the space for that thought. All right, Alphanod, what do you have? Confound it. She knows what must be done, and still she hesitates. All because of these fanciful rumors. I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adoptive mother, was among the great many who perished during the calamity. Flamin was her name, though you may know her better as the songstress of Ulda. She was a performer of singular talent, and much beloved by the people of Eorzea, not to mention a certain Charlian minstrel. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage speculation. Minfilia, too, struggled at first to accept the truth. As Flamin's absence stretched from months into years, she saw that there could be no other explanation. Until recently, at any rate. For whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Flamin is live and well. One of our informants, Father Illud, has sent word that a woman matching the songstress's description has been seen of late at the seaside resort of Costa del Sol. If we could succeed in tracking her down, I have no doubt that any worries that now plague Minfilia's heart might be assuaged. I mean, to set forth for Lanosi at once. Let us reconvene there and inquire with Master Gegaruju as to the veracity of these rumors. Well, sounds good to me. And I will praise Alphanod's decision to go find this person at Costa del Sol and see if there's any way that this might be the person that Minfilia is looking for. If, as a leader, you have... Look at you and your flying sparkle horse.
It just occurred to me that I can fly now. It's exciting.
I don't have a flying motorcycle.
No, your motorcycle doesn't fly?
I don't think so. Let me finish my thought before I figure out flying. Oh, my motorcycle does.
That's rad.
Oh, dear. Except I don't know how to land.
I think you just point down. Go forward.
No?
Point down at the, I mean, like, you have to drive down to the ground.
I'm staring straight at the ground, literally.
Interesting. Are you navigating with your mouse? Or?
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
When
That
I
worked, I guess.
point down and hit W, it goes.
Anyways, let me finish my thought here. A good way to earn people's trust is to help them in what ways you can. As the leader, you have been, empowered with certain things that most people in your organization do not. And therefore, I feel it is then your responsibility to use those powers for good, obviously, to help people get the things that they need to accomplish the things that they're assigned. And if that's, a specialist or a consultant or somebody else within the company who's maybe an expert in something, it's worth going that extra mile to see if that person is indeed going to be the boon that you or the person who needs their help might think it is. Anyway. We need to go to Costa del Sol.
Okay.
So I'm gonna boop there.
Looks like I'm booping with you.
Good, good. That's the lave mate, so we need to go over here. Oop. There's Whisket the Biscuit. Aha. There's Gegaruju. Oh, sweet siren of the sands, my Mikote muse, why have you forsaken me? The Titan's bane, I mean curious, what brings you to my humble resort? Flamen, you mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Ulda? Egads, man, if I had known that, I would have chained her to my bedpost and never let her leave. Oh, for shame. To think that she now plies her trade for the riffraff off to the west, or whatever she said she was going. It's a tragedy, I say, a tragedy! West, is it? Thank you, Master Gegaruju. Your information will serve us well. That said, there are any number of places she could be. I shall begin my search by the docks and see if any witnesses might have some knowledge to spare. I would be most appreciative if you could travel on to Wineport and do the same. Okay. So I can take my flying motorcycle over there.
Heck yeah.
This is just...
It's ridiculous and I love
Oh, dear.
it. It's very interesting seeing all of this from above now.
Yeah.
It's always a different point of view.
Oh. I should be. Aha. Oh, this guy again. Bergliant. Well, if it isn't Curious, the savior of Wineport. To what do we owe the pleasure? Ah, yes. We did receive a customer, each matching that description. She was a delight to behold. To give the woman her due, but her perfume was so ghastly, I had no choice but to eject her from the premises. Interfering with tastings, you understand. If she is your quarry, why not consult your blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer. Given that I could smell the woman from a malm away, I dare say he could smell her from 10. I dare say.
Or somebody.
Jungbahar. Yeah? You want to know if I've seen a Mikote lass by the name of Flammen? I wish. I haven't seen a lass of any description for far too bloody long.
Interesting. To me, he says, excepting yourself, of course.
Well, you are a pretty lass, after all.
Oh, well, thank you.
Right. Shamani Lamani. Shorty of the barrels. I see you have had many grand adventures since we last spoke, Curious. You must share them with me sometime. Yeah, if you got some more of that wine, great. The girl from a little while ago. One does not forget a perfume like that. So robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar. Reminiscent of a bloom native to these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my powers of observation and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. I told her to follow the road south into Raincatcher Gully and then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her there. Okay. I don't know how much I like this flying motorcycle business.
Oh.
It's just weird.
We'll get you a better flying mount. I think you can take your chocobo, too.
I could. You find her?
Yep, she's here.
Oh. Well. Hello there. Dead. I am in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gobu's ire until it was too late. Their oils can be used to make a perfume, you see, and I don't... Who are you? Whom do you serve? It appears you've already found our woman. Consider me impressed, my friend. The songstress of Wulda, I presume? Minfilia, or should I say, Asilia, is looking for you. Asilia! You are the very picture of health, milady, yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why? Not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Minfilia when the time is right. Oh, well, that does please me, more than you know. But tell me, sojourns in the forests of Lanosia aside, When exactly will the time be right? When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further? My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we have all that which we came for, might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Why haven't you revealed yourself to your daughter? Well, I had to pick these flowers to make perfume.
Ah, we don't know the whole story yet.
That's true, I suppose. It just doesn't satisfy my curiosity the way it apparently did Alphino's.
I'm taking the land route.
Okay.
I'll have to look at mountains and see what else there is. Besides, it's fun to watch the landscape roll by.
It is.
I have always been one for road trips. This is not at all how I envisioned it. I can scarce begin to imagine what emotions will go through Menphilia's heart when she reunites with her mother after all these years. Flamen has made her peace and is ready to reunite with her adopted daughter. You say my daughter awaits us in Vesper Bay, yes? I have kept her waiting long enough. Let us be off on the next ferry. I can finish fashioning the perfume along the way. Understood. Come with me. It would be my pleasure to escort you to the Waking Sands. And off we go.
Nice.
Yay, free passage.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Antecedent, you have a guest. Lahaman? Asilla. Cilia. I haven't seen her like this in years, Curious. I haven't seen her like this, period, so you got one up on me. I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead. But what kept you away for so long? The Imperials came for me, as I always knew they would, and so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. There's the rest of the story.
Yep.
I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work. And continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated in secret. I'm so proud of you, Celia, excuse me. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you. Salsetia perfume, you remembered. How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If I ever lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose. I did not think it was made anymore. You must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble for me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Curious, however. I could not have made it without him. Yeah, I have a knack for these things. Thank you, Curious. Thank you both. There's something else. This is the cat's eye I found. All these years you kept it. My father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. Yet, when I was a child, he brought me here to Ulda. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Laman who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive. Yeah, I was curious about that. I was like, you two are not the same race. Not that you need to be in Final Fantasy Land, but still, that's a bit of a stretch even for Square.
Well, they did mention it was Minfilia's adopted mother.
Ah, yes, that's true. I am no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I have failed to grasp their implications. It is clear that there is much I do not know about you and your mother both. One of her first lessons to me concerned mining, and I was a very dedicated student. This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it nonetheless. So I gave it to Lahaman as a gift. She said it was beautiful. But there I am at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Acelia. Nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come, and how much further you must still go. You and your allies have accomplished more than I could have ever hoped. You have succeeded where I failed, and made me so proud that words fail me. But even as I marvel at the woman you've become, and at all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do, and of what that may entail. Acelia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Ulda. Lahaman. You built it once, Acelia. You can build it again. And this time, we'll do it together. Truly? Alphenod, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. We shall establish a new headquarters in Revenant's Toll as you proposed. Ooh, does this mean I get to explore more places in Revenant's Toll? Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send word to the students of Baldesion. Preparations begin at once. Alrighty. Boo, boo, bitty, boop. Alright, that's a little better. Update my gear set here. So you see, providing that little bit of help actually helped pull a pretty big roadblock out from Infilia. And as far as adventuring goes, you know, this was the equivalent of essentially making a couple phone calls to make it happen. So, all in all, well worth the time and effort. Minfilia would share with you the latest news on the Scion's imminent relocation. It is all well and good that we have found ourselves a new home in Revenant's Toll. But there is so much to be done, and in so little time. Our first step will be to secure the cooperation of the Adventurers Guild representatives there. Were it not for the Guild's considerable efforts, the original Camp Revenant's Toll would never have been established, much less its more heavily fortified successor. However, with construction still ongoing and resources in short supply, it seems certain that the Guild will require something in return for their support, sympathetic to our cause though they may be. Whatever they ask, I shall not begrudge it. To be plain, we need them more than they need us. Without their assistance, such essential tasks as securing new facilities, cultivating relationships with local merchants, and recruiting adventurers would prove difficult, if not impossible. You need not concern yourself with such matters, antecedent. I brought the Adventurers Guild to us! Ha ha! Really, Alphinaud, if I need concern myself with anything, it is surely matters such as these. Indirectly, perhaps. I submit that you might instead concern yourself with a different matter, namely, to whom the resolution of such matters might be best entrusted. And here I am, nor do I come alone. May I present the esteemed emissary of the Adventurers Guild at Revenant's Toll. It is an honor, antecedent. Upon receiving words of your intentions from Master Alphinaud, we thought it best to begin talks at the earliest available opportunity. Know that my associates at Revenant's Toll hold the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in the highest regard. We should be honored to welcome your organization. There are, of course, certain provisions which must be negotiated. If it please you, I would do so. It does. Sir, unless I am much mistaken, you are the one known as Curious, are you not? May I say what a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance. You just want a celebrity local to your town. Slaveborn spoke of you in the most glowing terms. To steal an Imperial Reaper and then use it to infiltrate a Garlean castrum is an undertaking few would contemplate, and fewer still survive. You shall always be welcome at Revenant's Toll. We hope you will favor us with your presence again ere long. Well, well, it would seem your reputation precedes you, Curious. Mayhap I should dispatch you to Revenant's Toll with all haste, as first intended. But before that, I dare say you have earned yourself a rest. After all, you have traveled so far, and there is already so much you have done for us. And for me. I'd take a vacation. We will speak again anon. Till then, take care. Oakley dokley. Ah, Curious. Were you able to get some rest? I would ask you to come with me to the Solar. Alphinaud has just returned, and it would seem there is something he would share with us. I look so sleepy in that shot. No, I got no rest. But okay. I was just looking and determining how comfortable the table looked. You're here. Good. I come bearing news. The negotiations are concluded. And? Our friends at the Adventurers Guild have agreed to furnish us with new facilities and material support in exchange for our assistance in the ongoing defense and development of Revenant's Toll. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn shall have a new home in Mordona, the Rising Stones. Huzzah! A bittersweet victory, if truth be told. I cannot deny that I had come to look forward to Tataru's tale of our many guests and their many, many demands. From the waking sands to the rising stones. Passably poetic. That wasn't your doing, was it? I like Orianger. I too have news to share. In expectation of this momentous day, I personally informed the Alliance leaders of our plans, and they have pledged their full support, General Ralban included. Ralban's a good guy, whether you think so or not. Moreover, I have decided that the time is right for us to cast off the vestiges of our Order's veil of secrecy and announce ourselves to the world. Are you sure that is wise, Antecedent? If anything, it is a mere formality. Our existence is quite possibly the worst-kept secret in Eorzea. You got that right. Let us affirm our identity, proclaim our achievements, that all may know what the Scions of the Seventh Dawn stand for. Well, obvious risks apart, it would be nice to receive a little more recognition. And the people have a right to know who saved them. It is my hope that this gesture will encourage the people of Eorzea to place their trust in us. I would reveal to them the true extent of our power, yes, but in so doing, I would show them that it is a power accountable to no one, and at once to all. And what of us, we who have felled primals and faced down the Empire? To you, my fellow Scions, I would say this: prepare for the challenges which lie ahead, for they will be great indeed. Great, I say, yet no greater than us, and we will rise to them, as we have time and again, united as one. I want that lamp on Minfilia's desk. Cool lamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure somebody's probably 3D printed one.
Just another reason to get you a 3D printer or not to get you a 3D printer, depending on how you look at it.
No. I would spend all the money on plastic. There must be some way I can... Wait, that area is said to be rich in minerals. Maybe I should ask Flamen to teach me the basics of mining too. Speak with Minfilia. Yeah, so let's continue our discussion here. Relocation. Boy, do I have experience with relocation. There's a lot that goes into relocation, and I won't spend the next hour and a half talking about relocation. It's a topic that has at once a lot of the same elements, and yet a lot of those elements have different, let's call it character, depending on the situation. Whether you are moving to a new home, be it an apartment, a house, condo, tiny home, RV, whatever, or whether your organization is moving to a new office, or as is probably likely during COVID, moving out of a physical office because it's not safe. There's a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of opinions. Everybody has their opinion of what is best for this, that, or the other thing, why something should or shouldn't be done this way or that way. And as a member of the group that is relocating, it is important to, first of all, be patient and take this complex, stressful time in stride and understand that others do have other opinions and that they probably have some value. Again, we come back to the communication element of making sure that you have a high level of trust within your group so that you can discuss things openly and toss around ideas without anybody feeling threatened or stressed that something untoward is going to happen to them. That's really the best place to start in any scenario, but especially these more complicated ones such as relocation. All right, Benfilia, what you got for us next? Do you ever wonder how he does it? Elfinod, I mean. It was almost predictable that he should appear with an emissary of the Adventurers Guild mere moments after I had expressed the need to forge ties between our organizations. Truly, his sense of timing rivals even your own. Setting such mysteries aside for the present, I have a task for you. I would like you to deliver these documents to Slaveborn. They concern our forthcoming move. Do take care on the road, and represent us well, Curious. Okay. Deliver the documents to Slaveborn in Revenant's Tow. All right. Off to Revenant's Toll we go. Seems like it's a solo quest night, apparently.
That's all right.
Part of me wonders. Transform. Flip horizontal. Haha! Now I'm looking the correct direction. Slaveborn. Slaffborn. Slothborn. Slothborn. I was told to expect a scion, but I didn't expect it to be you. It has been far too long, Curious. You have something for me, yes? I do. Let's see now. Yes, everything appears to be in order. You'll be staying with us for a while, yes? Would that we had a dozen more like you. Since we don't, though, we'll just give you the work of a dozen men. Ha! I jest. You damn well better. Aiming, yeah, that works. All right. Hopefully the workshop has some furniture now. Back to do the work of a dozen men, I see. Ha! But I jest. Even I can appreciate that an important man such as yourself has little time for menial tasks. But since you're here, mayhap you'd be keen on having a look around the Scion's new home. See that impressive structure over there? That's the place. It was originally built to house a branch of the guild, you see. As such, it comes complete with a tavern where adventurers can rest from the road, fill their bellies with good food and drink, and their ears with tales of fortunes to be had about the realm. It may get a bit raucous at times, but I imagine it'll be as good a place as any to recruit crapable, yes, people we can roll in crepes. Capable men and women to your cause. Come with me. I'll show you around. Ding, ding, ding.
Is that you, Curious? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have most urgent news. We received grim tidings from Gridania, and it would appear our aid is required at once. I must ask you to report back to the Waking Sands with all due haste.
But house tour. Everything all right, friend? I gotta go do the stuff. Can't say I'm privy to the details, but it would appear this is no time for a leisurely tour. No worries. You can rest assured that I'll see to all necessary arrangements. Pray return any time after you've seen to your more pressing matters. Quest accepted.
There are all kinds of
Acceptified.
quests here.
Speak with Tataru. Okay. I say, I'm fairly certain I still have some of these Aetherite tickets back to Vesper Bay. I wonder if I can get more of those for free. Right. Hello, Tataru. A messenger from the Twin Adder came to the Waking Sands while you were in Mordona. I wasn't privy to his conversation with the antecedent, but I did see the look on her face after he took his leave. Something is definitely amiss. Could it be that the Ixal have summoned Garuda again? Or mayhap Imperial forces have been sighted within the Shroud? Well, whatever it may be, I'm absolutely certain it's nothing you can't handle. Now, go and ask the antecedent if there's anything you can do.
Okay.
Okie dokes. Okie dokie bokie. I knew this day would come, yet I prayed it would not come so soon. We have reason to believe that another primal, or an entity resembling one, has been summoned in Gridania. Thine arrival is customarily timely, Curious. The etheric waves leave little room for doubt. Thy talents will be needed ere long. If there be truth in my suspicions, 'tis a familiar foe we face, though one quite unlike the Lady of the Vortex. We dare not draw conclusions without evidence, but as Urianger says, the readings bear a strong resemblance to ones observed more than 5 years ago. Though I had hoped the Moggles guard beyond such follies. Suffice it to say, this disturbance warrants a full investigation. Okay. Thy presence hath been requested by Commander Huloi. He awaiteth thee at the Adder's Nest. Pray hasten to Gridania, Curious. Yida and Papalima will rendezvous with you there. May you walk in the light of the crystal. May I walk in the crystallic light indeed. Adder's Nest. Black Shroud. New Gridania. Swoosh. Okay. Good old Gridania. It's so pretty here.
All the cities are very pretty. Everything in this game is very pretty. Squared is
Look at
pretty very
that
well.
swashbuckling outfit. That's cool. You see the Vera here?
I have no idea where you are. Oh, you're over there.
I'm at the Adder's Nest. She's got a mongoose
Mongoose, huh?
and a pirate outfit. Really cool pirate outfit. She, he, whoever the gender may actually be under that female character.
Yeah,
A
that's
pleasure
a
as
pretty rad
always.
outfit.
It's curious. Thank you for answering my summons.
It's a meerkat, not a mongoose.
Right. I could think of no one more qualified to. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Allow me to explain. Level 70 weapon coffer, buffalo calf. Dark light bracelet of striking. Hail to the King Kupo. Okay. Vorsail Hulaw wishes to brief you on the latest crisis in Gridania. Not so long ago, the Muggle Kuplo Kopp visited the Adder's Nest to request an audience with the Elder Seed Seer. He spoke of an imminent threat to all Moogle kind, one which would imperil the entire Twelveswood if left unchecked. You proved an able ambassador to the Sylphs, and we would have you reprise your role in their dealings with the Moogles. The rest you should hear from Kuplo Kopp himself. He waits you with the Elder Seedseer at the Lotus stand. Okay. Lotus stand. There. Okay. The other Scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in? Yes, please do. Please do. I don't know. I guess I like Gridania so much because it feels so cozy. Whereas Limsa and Ul'dah are different in that fashion. Please, you have to stop them. But you mustn't kill them. They're not bad Moogles, Kupo. They're just misguided. A gentle... No, firm thrashing is in order, yes. But no. Calm yourself, Kuplo Kopp. Can you not see that he hasn't the faintest idea what you're talking about? Be quiet this instant. Pray forgive his witless outburst, sister. Most grateful am I that you have come, Curious, and upon such short notice. Truly, Gridania could not wish for a more stalwart ally. But you are doubtless eager to know wherefore we summoned you. Our friend Kuplo Kopp has brought to us news of a most unsettling development. It would seem that good King Mogglemog the 12th has returned to Eorzea. A curious thing to hear, I know. Well, I am curious, and I hear things. Truth to tell, I cannot myself say for sure if he is a genuine figure from history or some manifestation of Moogle mythology. Kuplo here would have me believe the former. Once upon a time, we Moogles served the gods in the heavens. It was quite nice up there, unspeakably beautiful, unimaginably spacious, and with a literally endless supply of wine, Kupo. In spite of this, or possibly because of the last part, the gods eventually became discontented and started squabbling, which made life jolly difficult for the poor Moogles. So good King Mogglemog the 12th, may his glorious name live forever, decreed that the time had come to leave Kupo. A realm of men would suffice, he said, so all the Moogles should live there instead. Unfortunately, the two realms are so far apart that we couldn't safely fly down. But good King Mogglemog the 12th, may his miraculous foresight forever be praised, he knew exactly what to do, Kupo. He had a rope, you see, the longest one ever woven. This he held nobly, while his subject climbed all the way down to the world below. And that is how we Moogles came to this land, Kupo. All of us except good King Mogglemog the 12th. May his courageous sacrifice never be forgotten. He alone would remain in the heavens so that Moogle kind might at last know peace. Except that he has not remained in the heavens, from what I understand. That being your reason for contacting us, yes? I'll bet he tied the rope to something. Good thinking. Remind me again what the problem was with him returning to Eorzea? The problem, Ida, lies in the fact that he was summoned. It is our belief that good King Mogulmog XII is a myth made manifest via means akin to those employed by the beast tribes in summoning of their gods. Wait, you're saying a handful of Moogles with a boatload of crystals wished really, really hard and he just sort of appeared? Would that even work? What I cannot fathom is, why would they even try? With Garuda humbled and the Ultima weapon destroyed, what new threat could have prompted them to take so drastic a measure? Might that not in itself be the answer? Twice in the last half-decade, Eorzea has been brought into the very brink of destruction, only to be spared at the last by the heroics of a chosen few. To you who braved those tempests and survived by virtue of your own strength, this latest period of peace will doubtless seem a welcome respite. But to those who had not the power to defend themselves, who were spared only by another's grace, this is merely the calm before the storm. I think the Mogulsguard are afraid of what tomorrow will bring, and that things may not end up so well as they did yesterday. That fear has driven them to call upon a greater power, one they believe can be relied upon to protect their loved ones and their homes, come what may. I assure you, the Mogulsguard only want to protect the forest from outsiders. But ever since the return of good King Mogulmog XII, may his boundless grace fill our hearts with love, they've started to get a little carried away, Kupo. Verging on a lot, in fact. Like the sylphs who summoned Ramu, you mean? We cannot discount the possibility that this entity is influencing the Moogles in a manner similar to that of a primal. We share the same concern. Whoever, or whatever, the king may be, it is our belief that he poses a threat, not only to Moogle kind, but to Gridania as a whole. Thus do we beseech you, Curious. Confront good King Mogulmog XII, and drive him from our midst. Okie dokie. Humbly do I thank you. The sanctuary of the Mogulsguard and their liege lord is concealed by magical wards. Brother E. Sumiyan of the Conjurers Guild will doubtless be able to offer insight on how they might be dispelled. Pray seek his counsel ere you proceed any further. Okay. Speak to Brother E. Yumi-san. New Gridan. And I love these little lantern cairns that they have along the paths. These are super cool. Exit to Nofika's altar. Welcome, Curious. Welcome. That you should be the one to face good King Mogulmog XII is of great comfort. To me and to the elementals, both. As I am sure you know, the Moogles are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet, should the king be suffered to remain, it is like that his influence will bring about a change in them. Thus does it behoove us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary, and inform me when you are ready to seek the king. Okay. Let's go. The wards barring access to the king's sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones, the selfsame method employed 5 years ago when the first king was summoned to Eorzea. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the guardians who then held the keystones, for none were in our possession at that time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Kuplo Kop confided in me that he has been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Moggles Guard themselves. Yet, wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means to gain entry to the king's sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Muggles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. We must needs have Kuplo Kop's keystones, Curious. Pray go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at West Shore Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I am certain he will yield. Okay. So over to the Lancers Guild, which I am familiar with. Whoosh! Kuplo Kop sounds like Kublai Khan.
It does.
So, how will you do it, Kupo?
Oh, he told you about that.
Well, if there is truly no other way, I'll do it, Kupo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll go on ahead.
Alright.
Oh, that's the ferry.
Ferry skipper is here.
Yep. Ferry. Oh my. Large Muggles.
Yes.
Don't you dare lie to me, Kupo. I know what you're planning, and I won't allow it. Open your eyes, Kupo. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. We offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us? By consorting with this Mikote? Imperials, Gridanians, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kupo. Traitor to his kinsmuggles, he plots treason against the crown. Enough. Kuplo Kop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the will of good King Moggelmog the 12th. May he reign forevermore, Kupo.
Well, he's not going to reign for much longer.
Not at this rate.
The king is planning to purge the Twelveswood of his enemies, Kupo. We've got to stop him before it's too late. The entrance to Thornmarch is deep within the Bramble Patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward. But be warned, the Moggles Guard has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo.
Escort Kuplo Kop safely to the warded entrance. Should you fail to defend him or move too far away, he will return, or you may rendezvous with him before trying again. Okay.
dead.
So that's a fun spell.
New spell?
Very bright.
Is that what it's called? Very bright?
No, it's called Holy. But that's what it does, is very bright.
Thank you for the Moogle heals.
You're welcome. The problem with both of us doing it at the same time is that we're getting double the baddies.
Yeah. That's alright. We'll be okay. Double the baddies, double the fun. Double the Koopo, double mint gum. Yep. Forward and to the right, or to the left. Yes, that is the way. Oop. All the status effects. All of them!
Okay.
Alright. I guess we're gonna have to fight one more thing.
Probably.
Although that seemed pretty penultimate there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fight the three Mogs. We're here, Kupo. I don't see any more beasts, do you? Are you ready to face the king, Kupo? Then step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus, like you do when you attune to an Aetherite, Kupo. I'll open the way for you.
Attenuizing.
The rest is up to you, Kupo. Now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson and send the king back whence he came.
Thorn March. Hard. Now accessible. Alright. Thorn March hard it is. Are you ready, Kelly?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay.
Oh, it's another raid.
Sometimes work can feel like an escort quest. That one client who just needs hand-holding at every step of the way.
Oh, yeah.
That coworker who just never seems to quite get it. You know, those are opportunities to show I'm just trying to think of the right phrase here. To show your worth. And practice your ability to stick to the right values, even though you may be completely fed up. And again, I just encourage people in those situations where their patience is gone, person seems like a complete dunce, to take a pause and ask yourself those questions I mentioned earlier. You know, what do I want to get out of this? What is the greatest benefit to so and so out of this, and how can we come to a greater outcome together? There's a lot to that a lot of people don't give a lot of credence to. A lot of people, especially in support roles, are typically into not misdirection, but redirection and diffusion. How can I diffuse the situation? How can I redirect the, bad mojo that's coming over the phone at me, for example? And how can I do it the most quickly? Well, that depends. It depends a lot on your communication skill. It depends a lot on the person on the other side and their willingness to be able to listen to reason and to work with you. Hopefully you don't find yourself in that situation often, but it is a very good situation as an exercise to improve those communication skills and improve your leadership qualities. Average wait time, 6 minutes, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I'm starting to fall asleep.
Well, we could save it for next time.
We could.
Could go back to Revenant's Toll and explore a bit. There were a bunch of quests back there.
That's true. Then we have to come all the way back out here.
Not necessarily. We can use the duty finder from everywhere, but
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's a thing. We can give it another couple minutes, get through the average wait time, and if nothing pops up by then I think we can call it a night.
that sounds fair to me.
Actually, what I'd like to do is move my cam elements down so that they're not over stuff. There we go. Now, unless I get super packed with quests, my face will be out of the way.
Good plan.
Yeah, Tritus called me out last night because I had myself situated over the chat box. And Twitch situates their little viewer count tag in the search results in this exact same corner of the screen. And so apparently, people like seeing who's doing the streaming before they select a stream. News to me. And he's like, you might want to move your camera. Like, oh, fine. I can move my camera.
I was not actually anticipating that it was going to pop.
We were close. We were very close. Let's see if the other healer is paying attention.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I went for a pizza. So, yeah. It's just these little things that always things to be considerate of, right? There's some study I should probably put into just the do's and don'ts of Twitch streaming and various other social media for that matter. I'm sure there are all sorts of tiny, subtle little things that I'm completely ignoring because I just don't care. Party member is withdrawn from the duty. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yay. Victory.
Light party. Full party. All right. I don't know. Kupos with battle axes is just comical.
A little bit, yes.
Who in the seven hells are they? Meddling adventures, I'd wager. Moggle's Guard, to arms! Defend the king, Kupo!
I see no king. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of different phases to this fight.
I'm guessing.
Damn you! Right in me bum, Kupo! That was going to be a big AoE. Good thing we're knocking them down. Well, what?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I don't want to be in the center of that.
Interesting.
Bam!
Okay.
Memento Moogle. Can't get out of the AoE.
This is chaotic,
A little
to
bit.
say the least.
Good lord. Ah. Okay. Moogle servants are down.
Alright.
And soon will good King Mogomog the 12th.
Woohoo! Alright. Malignant Mogax.
Cast your lot.
Do not have any need for an axe.
Nope.
But I shall greet it anyway because I might be able to turn it in for what's its.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Well, that was a thing.
That was a thing. That was a very chaotic thing.
You did it, Kupo! You did it! Good King Mogomog the 12th, may his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more! Indeed. I shudder to think what might have happened had you not stopped the Moggle's Guard when you did. Thank you, Curious. Perhaps now they'll come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured that the chieftain will have choice words for them, too. You should go and tell Puknipak that the king is no more, Kupo. She's with Raya O at Camp Tranquil and can relay the news to the chieftain. Well, all right then. Oh, that's right. We have a key for a Magitech armor,
That's right.
which I do believe is a mount.
I believe you're correct. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to talk to my gal. To the... No, that's the right direction. Never mind.
You were going the right way.
Raya Senna is over there. She's the white mage quest giver. I have to talk to her. anyway.
There's a jump there.
There is a jump there, yes.
Oh, I ended up in the swamp. What are you doing in my swamp?
Do I dare believe my ears? Good King Mugglemog the 12th, may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all, has fallen? All Mugglekind owes you a debt, Kupo. Ah, and I sense Raya O wishes to congratulate you as well. I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption.
Your bravery and service to the Twelveswood and her Muggles shall not be forgotten, Curious. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the man responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind. Whoosh! And away we go. The Elder Seedseer is expecting you, sir. May I show you in? Ah, yes. Yes, you may. So pretty.
So pretty.
Curious, you are returned to us, unharmed and victorious. Well, I died once, but it's okay. Thus have I 2 reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in Thornmarch. Then it is as we feared. Look at me being so succinct.
The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Muggles don't worship him, for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of.
Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that though a combination of the power contained in the crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Muggles called forth a being that by rights should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the aether which comprised him instead being scattered to the 4 winds. According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means...
Ascians. This whole business reeks of their handiwork. Kupopo? They said it was a masked man who had taught them how years ago, but Gridania has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question.
Confound it all! How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts? Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers. Fools to build the pyre and crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation. A somber thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, Curious. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss.
Oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter.
The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll.
We knew we could count on you, my lady. While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seedseer, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired?
Word.
Stoic nod.
I'm good at those. I have much practice. Use. Bake to Vesper Bay. Hello, Tataru. Does it disturb you, Tartaru, when I just jump the railing when I come in?
She's probably used to your quirks by now.
Alley-oop. But I am a cat, after all.
It's true.
At least part cat. It is good to see you, hale and healthy, Curious. I received word from Ida and Papalimo that you had felled good King Mogelmog the Twelfth. I always want to say Moogelmog. But I had hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the beast tribes and taught by the Asians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seedseer of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Curious. My welcome. That's probably as good a stopping point as any for tonight. What do you think, Callie?
I think so. I think I'm going to pick up the next quest before I log out, but...
I'm just going to log out in the Waking Sands right in front of Minfilia's desk. It's not like anyone else comes to visit her anyways. But yeah, so that's one of those things is, how can I tie this to a real world example? Summoning the King Mog dude is akin to summoning like the executive overseeing your region of the country, right? It's like, well, unless things are like almost literally on fire, does that executive really need to get involved? It comes down to a thing of, if your troubles are that bad, then that just shows how poorly equipped to deal with bad scenarios your team as a whole is. That can be things like communication, that can be things like operating procedures, that can be things such as emergency measures that are backups for the operating procedures, or people who are supposed to back up certain people who are unavailable. All sorts of things go into that. But you got to be careful when you're summoning the big boss that it's actually for a justified reason. Because that big boss, more often than not, has the ability to make your life and everybody else's life at your particular branch or team or organization pretty bad if they really wanted to. So that's all I will say for tonight. We've had some good lessons throughout the follow-up quests to A Realm Reborn here. We are on our way to relocating, which we will probably get to in the next session. So, thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget, if you want leadership tips and confidence stuff, you can head over to my website there. Don't forget to give me a follow if you like the content here on Twitch. be very much appreciated to help me get in front of others who could maybe use this message. And yeah, that'll be all. Thank you for joining us tonight, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
Always fun to have you on board. Glad you are starting to amass some of the equipment to be able to join us.
Yeah.
At least in more than an avatar capacity. And so, everybody, that's going to do it for tonight. Until next time, remember, stay curious, my friends.